Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shirani. Today I'm going to show you how I make my stuffed bell peppers. Okay, for this recipe I'm using 4 different color bell peppers and I just love the way these look, but you can use any bell pepper you want, it's up to you. The way I like to do my stuffed pepper is to cut the pepper in half and then take out the seeds. In the past, I've made this to where I stuff the whole bell pepper, but more recently I've been cutting it in half and stuff it, and I have to say I prefer it this way. As always, I'll have the exact measurements in the description box below for you. When I take out the seeds, I like to take out that little spongy piece in there. I'm not sure what you call it, but I always take that out. And then I take it to the sink and shake out the seeds and you're good to go. By the way, I washed my peppers already, so no need to wash them again. In case you didn't know, all these peppers came from the same tree. A green bell pepper is the same as a red, orange, and a yellow. It's just a different stage of ripeness. It goes like this. You pick the green one first, and then the longer you left it, it's going to get more ripe, so that's the yellow one. The longer you leave it, it's going to get orange and then red. And as with anything, the riper they are, the sweeter they are, so the red is the sweetest. And not only it is the sweetest, but it has more nutrition than any of them. I've grown to love bell peppers and to eat them raw. I learned this from my mother-in-law, to eat them raw, and they're so good. Okay, now that I'm finished with these, I'm going to take them over to the stove and I'm going to put them in some boiling water. This will help soften them up a bit. Carefully lower each one in the pot and try not to burn yourself. Cover the pot and let them cook for 5 minutes. You don't need to cook them long because they're still going to cook some more in the oven. I'm going to take them out and set them on my cutting board to cool off a bit. If you haven't been following me on Instagram yet, you can do so at Cooking with Shirani. I'm always sharing stuff in my stories over there, so come follow me. Okay, let's work on the filling for the peppers. In my pan here, I have 1 pound of ground beef. I'm adding ½ cup of chopped onion to that. And 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Stir that and let that cook for about 10 minutes or so over medium heat or until it starts to get brown. I'm not putting any other seasoning in this right now because I'm using a fatty ground beef. So I want to drain the oil and I don't want all my seasoning to come out, so I'm saving my seasoning for later. A good tip to use when you're draining the oil out of your pan is to use a piece of paper towel. I like to just put that in there and it will just soak up all the oil, and then you just take it out and throw it away. I want to leave a little bit of the oil in there because I don't want it to be so dry. Now I'm going to season it. The first thing I'm adding is a half a teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of oregano, half teaspoon of thyme, half teaspoon of basil, and half teaspoon of rosemary. Stir that and let that cook for about a minute or so. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of tomato sauce to that. 2 cups of cooked rice, and I love this recipe because I always have cooked rice, and 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Now you don't have to put cheddar cheese, you can put any kind of melting cheese you have on hand, but this is what I happen to have. Stir this until everything is combined and turn off the stove. In the meanwhile, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Before I stuff the peppers, I like to take a paper towel and go in there and sop up all the water. I want them to be as dry as possible. The way I measure it out is half cup of filling per pepper. You're going to take a spoon and push the filling down in the pepper. You want to get it in every part of the pepper. Another reason I like to stuff half of the pepper instead of the whole pepper is that it's easier to set in the baking dish. You know how it is with bell pepper, not all of them are the same shape, so some of them are bigger than some and you don't want to have them topple over in the dish, so it's easier if they're cut in half and then you stuff them. And another thing is, not everyone wants to eat a whole pepper, or sometimes you just want half of a green pepper and half of a red pepper. So cutting it in half works the best for me. As you can see, I used all the filling, I had nothing left over. Now I'm going to top them with some sliced mozzarella cheese. I take 1 slice and fold that in half and then half again, and I'm only putting half on each pepper. Bake this in your preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for 30 minutes. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful these are. I love how colorful they are, and they're so good. I'm going to cut one so you can see, But now it's cold because after I took it out of the oven, hubby went ahead and took pictures. So now it's cold and the cheese is cold, so it was a little bit hard to cut. The pepper is nice and soft. It still has a little crunch to it, but the cheese was cold, so that was hard to cut. I love everything about a stuffed pepper because I love rice, I love ground beef, I love peppers. Oh, this is right up my alley. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Every thumbs up helps to get my videos out there. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't yet subscribed, please don't forget to do that. And I'll talk to you in my next one. Take care. Bye.